Do you also find white spaces to be dangerous? So if you think the hood and being around black people is scary, all of those things, cool. All right, great. Do you also feel danger when you are around white people? Because I am scared. I'm not scared. I am nervous when I'm in all white neighborhoods. I think of Ahmaud Arbery. I think about Trayvon Martin. I think about black people just existing in white neighborhoods where we are deemed not supposed to be there, and the police being called on us. I stayed in this white neighborhood in Tacoma Park this summer. I was nervous. I was so nervous. There was all these like little free libraries, Black Lives Matter signs everywhere, gay flags, and that shit scared me. Nothing scarier than a liberal white person, especially when they feel a little bit of discomfort and knowing that I'm not normally there, walking my dog, all the eyes, people not being in the neighborhood. There was so much anxiety that I had that I would not have had that same anxiety if I was staying in a black neighborhood on a black street. I would have fit in a little bit more. I wouldn't be as noticeable. My presence as a black person, as a black queer person who wear a whole bunch of pink and look the way I do, stands out. And so if you're so afraid of the hood, are you also afraid of white spaces? Do you see and recognize dangers in white neighborhoods, in white suburbia, in white schools? White kids, they invented the mass school shootings. They're the ones who just, you was mean to them and they come back with whatever and just take it out on the whole school? Or do you only see danger when they're black people in black spaces? How many viral videos you gotta see of a black person being called the police on simply for existing in public in a place that a white person don't think they belong?
As a Mississippi native born and raised, deep Delta South, Mississippi native born and raised, there hasn't ever been a time where I have legitimately ever trusted a white person. And since I've moved outside of Mississippi, I can tell you this. Being here in Texas, it's odd when you're having conversations with like black people and the conversation derives about racism or white people. It bothers my soul how much my people try to fit in or be in the circle of these people. And then when I'm trying to basically tell them how things are done or how I was raised upon understanding white people, being from Mississippi and being from Greenville to be exact, I'm always being looked at with hella question marks or being told, well, that's kind of racist when you say this, that, and the third amongst white people. And again, personally speak, I never gave a fuck about being called racist when it came down to those people, because the shit that those people did to my people, and me being from the worst known record of slavery and racism out of all the states. You think I give a fuck about being called racist towards white people? You got another goddamn thing coming. I was raised in a household where my grandma was very big. Grandma, mama, everybody else in that motherfucker, but mainly the matriarchal system was extremely big and heavy on don't ever in your life bring home a blue-eyed white devil. Don't ever do no shit like that. My grams was real big on you can love whoever the fuck you want to love, but whatever you don't ever goddamn do is welcome home a blue-eyed white motherfucking devil. There's never been a time where I ain't ever known for the devil himself to not be a white man. Okay? And with all this racism going so heavily, and the older I get, the more I start seeing a lot of my people continuously become the laughing stock, or the motherfucker that sacrificed everything just to lay down beside a white person. What the fuck else can you do? Because it then starts making me wonder, how did y'all people raise y'all? Because my people ingrained that shit into my soul. You hear me? I watched nothing but back to back racism, slavery, to see what the fuck was done unto us. My Mississippi back, you feel me? I had to sit down and watch that shit, and I have that shit still ingrained into my system as of today. And not once have I really laid down with no motherfucker that didn't look like me. You hear me? The lightest I ever went was a light-skinned motherfucker, and that still was within my motherfucking community. But it's never been a time where I genuinely sat down and felt the need to trust someone of a different race. And now that I have gotten that out my system, basically what I'm trying to go about this, you as a black person should not ever feel like you are a bad person because you don't hang around white people. You should not feel like a bad black person just because you may look at the history of white history and see what white history has done unto black people. and feel like you don't ever want to be around those people. I just want people to understand this type of thing. When this whole allyship shit that these people got going on today, don't let these people fool you. Don't let these people fool you. Because at the end of the goddamn day, that person right there might be an ally to you, but they whole goddamn family history and generations in their family still look at your ass as a monkey. They still look at your ass as the hard Nigger word at the end of the fucking day. They still look to create some form of hate crime unto you just because of how easy it is to get rid of your ass, okay? I just need my black people to always remind themselves that your ass is black at the end of the motherfucking day. No matter who the fuck you got in your circle, white, black, blue, purple, olive green, it don't motherfucking matter. It don't goddamn matter. These people get on these internets every single motherfucking day and show to our black ass that we don't have nobody in our circle but our motherfucking black ass. And that's what I be needing my black people to goddamn stand. There's nobody that is willing to pick us up off that motherfucking floor. They might swoop us up, but understand after we finish being a convenience to them, they gonna throw our ass right back on that motherfucking muddy ground each and every goddamn time, okay? Simply just stop trying to assimilate to the white man. Do your own goddamn thing, live your life how you feel like it is needed to be lived. But one thing I don't ever want my black people to ever feel like you need is the white peoples. You don't need them. You don't. You don't need to lay down beside them. You don't need to get them your black ass money. You don't need to get them your black ass attention. You definitely don't need to get them your black ass entertainment. Stay black, stay beautiful, and just die. But you ain't got to do it with a white motherfucker beside you.
Why black people are not comfortable in predominantly white spaces. Yes, I'm wearing my bonnet, okay? I'm tired. Je suis fatigué. Anyway. So for me, when I'm in a predominantly white space, work environment, white party, whatever, I know that as soon as something racist or a microaggression happens, no one's got my back. It's me against Karen or... Unless someone verbally expresses that, they're an ally, they got me, I got no one. So if something breaks out, I know that calling the person racist is probably not the best decision to make. Because one, it's going to be an uncomfortable environment and atmosphere. If I have friends there, they may or may not be understanding. May or may not say that it's exaggerating, gaslighting. You can just see by my expression, it's just already making me tired. I'm already tired enough. But if there's one other black person, at least if I see another black person looking at me because they are in distress, I will help you. I know some black people are like, no, you're on your own. I mean, fair enough, But when there's other black people, you just know you're okay. You're okay. And if it's a party, you're gonna have a good time. Like earlier today in the office, there was a bunch of black people in the kitchen. And I was very tempted to say, is this like a reunion with like black people? Can I join in? But I really felt like they were gonna look at me weirdly, so I stopped myself. I kind of regret it now. But yes, if you're an ally, just say it, man. Just say it. If you hear Karen say, oh, is that your real hair? Look at Karen and be like, I don't think that Zaya actually likes that kind of comment because it's very obvious that it is her hair. And even if it isn't, is it any of your goddamn business? So yes, allies, unite. Make your identity known. You're not Batman, you're not Superman. So just make yourself known.
A lot of people have been able to come out here, people that look like me to be precise, to say why they're literally not comfortable when especially they are in the white spaces. Now, do I blame them for all this? No. Do I question what they actually have to say? No. Now, the reason is because each and every one of them have a certain experience. You can watch from the clips that I've been able to play for you from the beginning of this video, where they can literally know that they cannot express yourself, they cannot either do one or two things, and of which most of the reasons they are actually bringing, as far as I'm concerned, are a bit genuine. And a lot of white people have also been able to talk about why they can actually not be in a predominantly black spaces, But in today's video, we are also going to be exploring more. So I'll just go ahead and roll out the other clips I have for you guys so that you guys can actually hear exactly what each and every one of them actually said, and so that you guys can drop your honest thoughts for me in the comment section. First, hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time you're tuning in, do what? Subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every clips and stitches we use in our today's episode, and I want you to have it at the back of your mind that this is just for educational purposes, not to come here bash anyone. We do not support any form of violence here. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you that have been supporting the channel, that have been liking my videos, that have been sharing my videos. I really do not take you guys for granted. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead. Let me roll out the other clips I have for you guys. Then I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go, guys.
A lot of y'all don't understand. You're not even the one they love. You're just where they dump what they hate about themselves. You're their emotional basement. I just want you to understand the situation. They don't bring their joy to you. Ain't never did. They bring their mess, their guilt, their grief, their leftover chaos from every fight they don't fix. And you just sit there quiet thinking that you're mature. But I want you to understand that ain't never been maturity. You're containment. You're not the person they share life with. You're just where they go when life gets too loud. You're where they hide themselves because you don't challenge them. I just want you to understand the situation. Because if someone only comes to you when they're in pieces, you're not their piece. You're their disposal system. Every time they fall apart, you swallow your pain to stabilize theirs. Is that even equality? Is that even equity in the situation? Every time they blame the world, you turned into a therapist they didn't pay. You called it love, but really you just didn't want to lose them. You became safe for their self-abandonment. You translated disrespect into trauma responses. You watched yourself disappear, and guess what you called it? Empathy. You say you were there for them. I just want you to understand. They didn't even feel bad for using you. They felt entitled to you. You trained them that your silence was normal, that self-erasure was love, that your needs were optional and their breakdowns were sacred. You let them ride out your emotional foundation because you thought if you held them long enough that they heal and finally turn around and hold you on. I'm just being for real. I'm just being for real right now. They won't. Not even because they're evil, but because they've never had to. You make their guilt feel safe. You make their chaos feel held. And now that's what they think you are. That's who they think you are. You're not peaceful. You're just used to not being heard. You're not mature for holding up the weight of someone else's healing. You were just trained not to flinch. You're not strong. You just got good at shrinking at rooms they called you safe. I just want you to understand. I just want you to understand what's going on, because when you finally speak up after all this exhaustion, after all this pain, when you finally cry, well, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen when you say I matter too? They're going to panic. They're going to panic. Not because they didn't know, but because they'll finally lose their emotional storage space. Because you weren't the partner, you were the container, and now that container's leaking. So they didn't choose you for who you are. You were selected for what you wouldn't do. You wouldn't challenge. You wouldn't speak. You wouldn't leave. And now you're not even just quiet. You're watching. You're watching how quickly people who loved your calm call you difficult the moment you speak with clarity. That's what you're watching for now. You watching how fast their confusion turns into guilt trips. How fast their pain returns when your peace is no longer available to rinse. I just want to say what it is. But you were the container, but now the lid's off. And they don't know what to do with themselves now that you're not absorbing that on demand. They don't know. They don't know. So you're no longer letting them. I want you to understand this, because I'm saying it for you. You're no longer letting I've just gone through a lot. I've just been going through a lot be a valid reason for your erasure. You're no longer calling abandonment a coping style. It ain't never been, because you're no longer asking them to heal. You're no longer begging them to understand. You're just removing the basement key from their hand that they've been clutching, and it ain't never been belonging to them. And they're panicking, not because they lost you. Never even saw you there. They just saw the key. They just lost a version of them that let this be unaccountable. So just let them panic. Just let that silence echo as loud as it need to get, because this time, it actually belongs to you. This time, that basement key belongs to you.
It might be weird, but I've been making an effort to try to see the world through the eyes of Black Americans. And I wanted to share a couple of things that I've learned so far. I'm John. I make content that tries to model empathy and curiosity for our social differences. Number one on the list, Black people don't hate me. I guess I didn't know necessarily how they would react, knowing all of our history. But yes, they see my white face. Yes, they know history. But one of my friends said one time, if you're cool with us, we're cool with you. And that made a lot of sense to me. Number two, many Black people don't feel comfortable in white spaces. This is something I discovered by posting videos and all the comments. Many people said they may feel, or it may appear that they're comfortable, they may look relaxed, but there's just kind of a vibe that they don't belong there. Maybe it's unfortunately sometimes explicit, but vast majority is probably more like microaggressions that people don't even realize. But there's that. Number 3, Black history is American history. They corrected me on this early on, and it's because it's not that we don't want to have a designation for understanding the history and the experiences of Black Americans, but it's more like when we call it Black history, that implies that it doesn't belong to anyone else. Whereas if you really think about it, slavery, for example, that's more like white history than Black history. Number 4, I shouldn't focus on all the bad stuff so much. When I'm making videos, try to explore our worlds. I do have a tendency, maybe it's my own curiosity or maybe it's my biases, to focus on slavery and discrimination and segregation. And people have told me, hey, look, we do want people to understand those things better, but we also don't want to be defined by that. So I also need to focus on the amazing and greatness of Black people and their contributions in our country. Number 5, they know I have blind spots of my own and they're okay with that. It's more like, what's my attitude about it? Am I aware or trying to be aware? Do I have some humility about it? Am I open to learning? Or do I have a vibe like, I don't even care if I have blind spots. I don't care how they come across to you. That's a big difference. And number 6, Black people don't want revenge. They want to live life abundantly. Yes, they want to live in a fair society. They don't want harms and injustice and flawed systems to be papered over or denied. They want accountability, but more than anything, they just want to live and be themselves and have fun and feel like they belong here. Not just on paper, but they feel it. Anyway, I'm learning a lot and it's been a great journey and I'm going to continue and I'll share some more when I learn.
Develop close friendships, people just like stay in their homes always.
Everything she said was facts, but let's stop calling it the Seattle Freeze. Let's start calling it what it is: white supremacy. Individualism, which is characterized under white supremacy characteristic. And a lot of the locals in the Pacific Northwest don't realize how segregated it is here. I come from the 3rd most segregated city in the United States, Chicago. So I notice all these. Locals here have also developed a characteristic called paternalism. There's another characteristic they've developed out here: fear of confrontation, which leads to a whole bunch of passive-aggressive microaggressions and a whole bunch of bullshit, instead of just coming direct with a motherfucker. You feel me? That's why they say they're kind, but they're not nice out here. There's a lot of fake shit. It's a lot of small pop blankets shit. You feel me? A smiling energy, Thanksgiving dinner type energy, while we go slaughter your whole tribe type energy. You feel me? They also run into this thing when you have white locals that can't talk about race, or you have white locals or POCs that think they know more about the Black oppression than you. Or they tokenize you. It's just a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna call on my fellow white people, especially like white USians and people raised in the white woman box, because that's primarily what we're talking about here. But anybody, I need to know. This says, what do you mean by white communities fall apart so often? I want to hear your stories. Stitch this or comment on if you were in a community of primarily white people that imploded. I want to hear it. Big, small, online, offline, could be anything from abuse from someone at the top to everybody disagreeing on what kind of yarn was best for a project. If you've been in a primarily white space that has imploded and gotten super dramatic, I want to hear about it.
So, welcome back, guys. So, after watching all of that single clip, what does that actually tell you? You can check that from this particular clip. Each and every one of them actually have a lot of experience that they are actually sharing. Now, most of this experience are lifetime experience, because even me and you know that the current thing that is actually happening now is whenever something actually happened, the first people they are actually trying to put the blame on, or the first people they are actually trying to make them see reasons like they are the one that actually committed it, are people that look like me. And sometimes I do wonder why, once I come to a realization that this is what these people are, this is what these people are known for, so it is going to be very difficult for them to actually change. Now, is it okay for people that look like me to actually stay out of the environment predominantly, it is quite okay if you feel you're not comfortable in a certain environment. Okay, now why do I even need to stay in a certain environment if I am not comfortable with it? It's just as good as maybe you are a working class person working in a certain organization, and every single time you pick your bag, you pick your pen, you pick your laptop to go to the office, you have this awful feeling. You feel so down. You don't even want to be in that space. You don't even want to go to that work. You don't, even when you ended up going to that particular office, you are not happy doing whatsoever you are doing. So what is the point of going to that particular office? That is what I see in this video. So if Black people are trying to say, oh, we don't want to be in the white people's spaces, probably this is the reason, this is the reason. It doesn't simply mean that they're not actually going to be interacting with the white community, right? Because we all know that US is a mixed race. So it simply means at every given point in time, every single one of them are definitely going to be interacting with each other, be it positively or negatively, anyhow you are going to see it, right? Anyways, let's take some few comments that I actually have here. And this person actually said, I just came here for a check of your account. Oh, this person said the biggest sign is when their good news and joy is celebrated somewhere else. Exactly. And that person here said, and as soon as you get some boundaries, you will get connection. Exactly. I feel like a lot of things can actually be stopped if a lot of people now realize exactly what they are and who they are, because most people don't really know who they are and what they are, and at the end of the day, they're not getting it all straight. Now, another person here said, I don't trust none of them. You can hear this person actually saying what he feels. You understand, trust is being built, and the moment that particular trust is being broken, getting those trusts all together is actually going to be a whole lot. And that is why if someone actually trusts you as an individual, please do not break that person's trust, right? And that person here said they don't even trust each other, so there is no way I can trust them. Exactly. We've seen it on different occasions that these palm colored people, literally, I can tell you for a whole fact that they don't even have that kind of like high trust for each other. That's just the honest truth. So why do you think that someone that look like me will literally go and trust someone that at the end of the day, the both of you don't even trust each other, right? And that person here said, as a Southerner, I can wholeheartedly say this is the truth. Exactly. And that person here said, from the north, East Texas, my grandparents told me the same thing. You can be a friend, but never too close. You can see why I always keep saying it, that no matter how you want to be friends, no matter how you want to feel like, oh, old things are passed away, behold, everything become new. Make sure you are eating with a long spoon. I keep saying it. If you're eating with the devil, you're going to eat with a long spoon, so that the moment he flames up, you can actually just kick off and move, right? So that person said, friendly but never friends, but it is how I look at it. Exactly. It is good that you become friends, because like I said, we do not support any form of violence. Being friend is a good thing, but you have to know your limits. You have to respect your boundaries, so that at the end of the day, you don't get disappointed. And that person here said, folks called me racist towards them too. And I was like, I'm surprised that a lot of palm colored people can now look at someone that look like me and call them racist. I've said it in one of my videos that this racist of a thing, it can come from the right or from the left, right? But we know that a lot of people that have really have this inbuilt, inborn train is the palm colored people. And that person here said, South GA born and raised. Trust me, I got it. Exactly. A lot of people are actually relating to this particular video. And I want you to also let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Do you think that you can stay in a predominantly white environment and feel okay, feel safe, feel nothing? Let's just go on and move on with that. Do you feel like that? I want to know. Do you have any contra experience to anything that will make you not even stay or even go close to them? Let me know as well in the comment section. Remember, we're just doing this for educational purpose. And that person here said, I have never met a normal white person. They are either really wild, evil, or both. I cannot say they are not white people that are actually good. I've actually met one on this particular case, because I have been on TikTok, live streaming on TikTok for some years now, and I've met some quite good white people that we've personally interacted one-on-one, and they genuinely showed me that, yeah, They actually love me and got my back. But you know, as always, I'll still keep saying it. No matter how friends, no matter how close, you still need to maintain a little bit of distance, right? So I cannot accept to this person saying that all of them are weird. They are not all weird. They're not all evil. Okay. So that person here said that especially in Dallas, they think the people, their mind. Anyways, I don't know what they're actually thinking in this other place. And that person said, people keep saying I am racist, so be it. It is so sad and so annoying that you will see someone that look like me and you say that person is a racist. Like, how? Like, you don't know the definition of racist or something. But anyways, probably there is something that actually saw. That person said, it's mind-boggling because what more these people have to do to prove to you to stay away. I'm just so tired because a lot of them have been able to show you that stay your lane, don't even come close to our lane. But a lot of people will not even hear, a lot of people will not admit to it, a lot of people will still be pushing themselves towards the direction of when this person has actually clearly showed you that you should stay away. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. I really want to know, what do you think make you to run away, flee away like a plague from a predominant white environment? Let me know what your thoughts are. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do what, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And guys, with no further ado, like I say in my videos, I'm going to be saying that I'll see you guys in my next one. For educational purposes only, I stand the chance to be corrected. Bye for now. I love you guys. Mwah.